everybody, Reinhardt Brucker here today with another one of my episodes of Make Things Better. Today we're going to be talking about how to avoid becoming homeless during the sale of your one house and purchase of the new house. But before I do that, I wanted to talk about the good news, bad news series. You've all heard the stories of we got good news and bad news. Well, one time there was the cruise ship captain. He would come on every afternoon and make announcements to the guests and the passengers on what's going on with the ship. One day he got on the speaker and he said, "Folks, we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is we're making terrific time. The bad news is we're lost." Well, we don't want you to get lost during your home sale and home repurchase. So here's my 5-step solution to avoid becoming homeless during the process. I always get asked the question, should I sell my house first and then buy a house? Or should I buy the house that I want first and then sell? I've been asked that question since I started in 1977 in this business. Well, let me tell you, I've got a 5-step system that answers that. Step number 1, let me get you pre-qualified right over the phone. That's right over the phone. You don't need to go anywhere for a meeting. I know all the mortgage brokers in town. I can guide you to the ones that have the attractive rates, the best services, etc. It's probably a better idea to get somebody local, so you have somebody local to go to if something should go haywire, and I'm here for that whole process as well. The online ones may or may not be familiar with our local practices, and thereby might make it a little bit cumbersome. So give me a call, we can get you pre-qualified again right over the phone. Step number 2, let me walk through your current home and give you an idea of how we can get you the biggest, best, top dollar price-wise for your home. I'll go through and I'll make suggestions. I'll ask you what suggestions that you're already planning on, and I'll also give you a bulleted list of what buyers have told us they want throughout the years, what are the first things they look for, and what are the most important things to focus on. To give you an example, front door area, when they first ring the doorbell and wait for you to open the door, that's the place they're going to look around and see all the faults and foibles if there are any, or they may fall in love with it right there. So tips like that. I'll then give you a comparative market analysis to give you an idea price-wise where we should be, what buyers are willing to pay at that time in the market, and the market does change. People talk about, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Well, it's a seller's market in some markets and it's a buyer's market in other markets, and it's always changing. So you really need to have me take a look at that. There are certain price points that are definitely very hot. There are other price points as you go higher in price that are somewhat stale. So you have to do different marketing, different techniques. But I can talk to you all about that. Step number 3, you definitely want a cost worksheet. I created this cost worksheet over the last umpteen years, and I found that surprisingly very few people get this presented to them. This is one I created many years ago, and this side is the seller's side. Ta-da! The seller's cost worksheet, and goes through all the whys and wherefores. And then on the same page, on the flip side, I have a buyer's cost worksheet. These are the costs that you'll have as a buyer, because you'll have costs as a seller, you'll have costs as a buyer, and ideally they could match. So you're taking the cash out of one and putting it into the next one, and not changing the amount of cash you needed if you don't want to. But this is crucial, and you really need to have this. And I do this on all my first meetings before you sign anything. Step number 4, I'll find out what your criteria is, what searches you're looking for, and I'll put you into my VIP search software. And what that does is once we establish what your search parameters are, my software, as soon as we receive a new listing from all the realtors, we deal with all of them. My software automatically will send it to your software, so you'll be the first ones to see it, but before anybody else does who doesn't have a relationship like mine. So that's key. Then you can take a drive by, decide whether you like it after you go by it. If you do like it, then give me a call. I will go with you and we will walk through it together. I'll point out the pros and the cons, because I also make sure that as part of the contract that we make it subject to an engineer's inspection as well as your attorney. So that never gets taken for granted. And step number 5, once we find the house that you bought and yours is sold, I will coordinate the closing dates on both contracts to be the same exact day. That is a target date that we're shooting for, so that you move out of your one home that you're selling and move into the one you're buying the same day, so that there's no overlap, there's no downtime. You don't have to move out and store your furniture. You move out of the first house into the second house, and it's seamless. I've done it for years. And give me a call if you'd like to see more, and I'll show you how to do it. Thanks so much for watching. Go out and make it a great day.